Word problem number 3 using adding and subtracting fractions. So again, I have my steps for adding and subtracting fractions off to the side as a reminder, and my cube strategy off to the side as a reminder. So question 3. Katya swims 1.5 laps of the pool on Monday, 2 laps on Tuesday, 1 3/4 laps on Wednesday, none on Thursday, and 2 1/4 laps on Friday. How many laps has she swam all together? So let's circle the key numbers. So on Monday she swam 1.5, Tuesday she swam 2 laps, Wednesday she swam 1 3/4, she swam none on Thursday, which is 0, and on Friday she swam 2 1/4 laps. Now I'm on to underline the question. So I'm looking for how many laps has she swam all together. So I'm looking for a number. You need to box any math action words. So I'm not told specifically that I'm adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing, but I do have this all together at the very end here, which refers to a sum. A sum means I'm going to be adding. So I know I have to add up the number of laps she swam each day to end up with my end result. So let's start with our let statements. So let M represent the number of laps she swam on Monday. Let T represent the number of laps she swam on Tuesday. Let W represent the number of laps she swam on Wednesday. Thursday she didn't swim any. So because I'm adding, I'm just going to leave this one out. I don't have to add a 0 in. So let's move on to Friday. So let F represent the number of laps she swam on Friday. And we need to have something for how many laps she swam all together. So let L represent the number of laps she swam all together. All right, so I have L, the total amount she swam, is equal to the amount she swam on Monday, plus Tuesdays, plus Wednesdays, she didn't swim any on Thursday, plus Fridays. I know what M, T, W, and F represent. So I'm going to substitute. M equals 1.5, T equals 2, W equals 1 3/4, and F equals 2 1/4. I'm now going to show filling these substitutions in. So I don't know what L is still, but I know M is 1.5. I know T is 2. I know W is 1 3/4. And I know F is 2 1/4. Just like my first problem, I have mixed numbers here and I have whole numbers. I have to change these into improper fractions or a regular fraction represented by a numerator over a denominator before I can add. So let's do that. 1 times 2 is 2, plus my numerator of 1 gives me 3 over 2. 2 wholes is 2 over 1. 1 3/4 becomes 1 times 4, which is 4. Plus 3 is 7, so I have 7/4. And my 2 1/4, 2 times 4 is 8, plus my numerator of 1 gives me 9/4. I'm now going to look for a common denominator so that I can add. Again, I have here a denominator of 1, so that doesn't really matter. I'm not going to focus on that right now because I can multiply 1 by anything. Look at my 2's and my 4's. Luckily, 2 goes into 4. I can multiply it by 2 to create 4. So I'm going to multiply my whole first fraction by 2. My second fraction here, my 2 over 1, I'm going to multiply it by 4 to create a 4 on the bottom, to create a denominator of 4. 3 times 2 is 6, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 2 times 4 is 8, 1 times 4 is 4, plus 7/4 plus 9/4 equals. Now my denominators are all the same, so now I can add. So I have 6 plus 8 plus 7 plus 9. 6 plus 8 gives me 14. 14 plus 7 gives me 21. 21 plus 9 gives me 30. So I'm left with 30/4. These are both even numbers, so I know that they can be simplified and reduced by dividing by 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now they can no longer be reduced. But saying she swam 15 halves doesn't really give me a good, as someone receiving the information, a good answer. Because I don't want to have to calculate what 15/2 is in terms of laps. So I'm going to write this as a mixed number. So I'm going to take the 15 and divide it by 2. Well, 2 doesn't go into 1, but 2 does go into 15 7 times. 2 times 7 is 14. 15 subtract 14 is 1. So 2 goes into 15, 7 remainder 1, which means my answer is 7 wholes, so 7 whole laps, and 1/2, so in 1/2. Let's double check our answer to see if it makes sense. So I have 1.5, 2 wholes, 1 3/4, and 2 1/4. So let's add up my whole numbers first. So I have 1 plus 2 is 3, plus another 1 is 4, plus another 2 is 6. So I'm at 6 now. 1/4 plus 3/4 is another 1 whole, so now I'm at 7, and I have 1/2. So there's 1/2. I end up with the same answer, 7.5. My last step is to write my therefore statement. Therefore, Katya swam 7.5 laps. Done.